Hey, beautiful. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. I'm your host, Mary, your go-to life coach, mindset mentor, here to help you live your most authentic and happy life and truly start believing that you're capable so that you can grow your capacity to have more, do more, and be more. Grab your cup of coffee. Let's jump in. Hey, okay. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you how tracking your finances can help you manifest more money. And I'm going to share both practical and spiritual tips so that you can get your mind on board, but also understand it from a perspective that feels aligned and meaningful. And of course, also, if you're like me and you have a hubby that's much more practical, you'll have some tips to take back with you to share with your spouse, significant other, so that you guys can get on board with your finances, have the hard conversations, and start communicating better about money. Because money grows so much quicker when you and your spouse are on the same page. All right, I'm so excited. But before we dig in, I want to quickly announce my Manifestation Blueprint program, which is my one-on-one mentorship program designed to help you stop doubting yourself, designed to help you stop overthinking every single step along the way. Stop feeling like you're constantly running on a treadmill, trying to reach your goals, but never actually reaching them. Or maybe you do keep reaching them, but it always feels so hard and so overwhelming to maintain them that you end up self-sabotaging. So if you're that girl who has big dreams, big goals, and constantly feels like she is meant for more, but doesn't quite ever feel capable or worthy of actually following through, this is exactly what that program is designed for. I'm going to show you the exact steps to overcome negative self-talk and tell that mean girl inside, no more. And really start learning how to trust yourself to take intuitive action. Because you know that intuitive action is exactly what you need to feel more confident and trust and know that the steps you're taking are actually working. And that's the first step, really getting your mind on board. The next step is really just learning how to manage your emotions. Because not knowing how to manage your emotions is like letting a toddler drive the car. They can't reach the pedal and they can barely see over the steering wheel, and you know you're not going to get far. I teach you exactly how to take control of your emotions so that they can stop stopping you from going after your goals and dreams. And then we start looking at how to be more consistent and productive and do it without the burnout. I truly teach you how to start getting shit done and start teaching you the energetics of making time work for you instead of you feeling like you're constantly, I just got to catch up. I just got to catch up. Maybe tomorrow I'll catch up. Maybe the next day I'll catch up. Maybe next week I'll catch up. I just got to catch up. And I show you the exact time management system that I use to overcome my distractive ADHD brain and really start getting things done. And not just doing all the crazy busy things, but like actually the big things that push me forward. I have a scattered brain, and so I need the structure to keep me moving forward. And I look at this like a river. Trying to get things done without the structure means that there's no banks and the water just seeps in and nothing goes anywhere. But with that structure, it allows me to flow in the direction that I absolutely want to go. So this is what I teach you. And then the most important part of this program is showing you how to stay aligned and authentic with your deepest desires. so that your success and motivation aren't just this tiny little spark that keeps fizzling out, and instead it becomes this roaring wildfire burning deep from within you, unstoppable, unshakable, and freaking fully alive. Lastly, in this program, I teach you how to make the journey fun using manifestation techniques and spiritual laws to turn the process into something you actually enjoy. Because the universe, and you know I'm all about this, the universe rewards those who enjoy life. Because when you're having fun, you manifest things so much faster. And if you're one of those people and you just know you're meant for more, know that you're meant to have fun. Know that you're meant to fall in love with your life and the process and not feel stressed or overwhelmed every step of the way. So if you're ready to find the missing key to the door that you've been pushing on for years, book your free consultation call and let's make this happen. The link is waiting for you in the show notes. And if you're feeling called to this, pause this right now, go find that link, book the call. It's free. Let's make it happen. Okay, let's dig into how tracking your finances can help you manifest money so much quicker. A real quick side note though, as I use the word budget throughout this episode, I want to remind you that I don't want you to think you need to become super restrictive with your money, because money is meant to flow so that you can have more flow to you. I was a story, or I guess it's not so much a story as much just a lesson. This amazing person I used to work with was telling me the essentials of life. And one of those lessons was just being the kind of person that gives. And when you give, more money comes to you. And what he had me do to kind of explain this to me and help me fully grasp it is he's like, hey, hold out your hand and close it into a fist. And then he held a bunch of change over my hand and dropped it. And of course it fell onto the ground. And he's like, when you keep your fist closed and you're not giving, you don't get as much. But when you open your hand up, so he scraped up the change and asked me to hold my hand open. And he took the change and he dropped it. And of course, some of it fell into my hand and some of it fell over, right? Overflew into my hand, or flowed into my hand, and some of it overflowed onto the ground. He's like, see, when you open yourself up to giving, you allow yourself to receive more. And it overflows into society, into your family's lives. And so it's important not to just keep your money all the time to yourself. It's important to give. And it's important to be open to taking your money to the grocery store and feeling comfortable giving your money to the store because you're so grateful that you have the ability to pay for the groceries you need for your family's dinner. And seeing that exchange as this energetic exchange of money and being so grateful for it. Because that money, while yes, going to the grocery store, also helps support the person that is, in line, the person checking you out. They get to go home that night with a paycheck. So the money that you're giving, whether it be charitable or just an exchange of services or goods, like it's always going to somebody and it's always in flow, and we're meant to give. So when I talk about budgeting, I don't want you to think that you need to get super restrictive. But in the beginning of your journey, a certain level of budgeting, again, at the beginning, will help you be more intentional and help you build the habits you need for financial responsibility. At the beginning of my journey, my husband and I were struggling big time. Not once was I really taught through my childhood how to manage my money. And my parents did a little bit, but I mean, most of the money I got as a kid, I spent every drop of it and I never saved much. So going into college, I didn't have much money. I didn't have anything saved. Where my kids, they're able to pay for college through all of the money that they've saved and all of the money that we've helped them save. Now, that's not to say that they have every penny spent. My kids are freaking amazing. Our oldest daughter, she is paying for school, and she doesn't have all of the money in her savings to pay for it, but she's doing fantastic. And I truly believe that's something that we shared with her in learning to just be responsible with her money, and learning now as a young adult how to manage her money. And I don't expect her to be perfect with it, but I know that's going to grow. And I know one day when she looks back and she's done with college and she has her career ahead of her, and she's able to travel because she chose a career that would allow that, she's going to be so grateful for all of those lessons and things that we've taught her. So yes, to manifest more money, you have to be willing to save money. But just like I said, at the beginning of my journey, I was struggling. I started out with piles of student loan debt, and my husband, he had a divorce and debt from that, and money was so tight. So budgeting and tracking really, truly helped us create those amazing habits. And I'm so grateful I was able to give that to my daughter. And from those habits, my husband and I created the financial stability that we needed to help us build and grow our net worth so much bigger than I ever imagined. So yeah, you need to spend money to make more money, but it's not just any money. You have to be spending your money so intentionally and investing it in your future and creating a life that you truly want. Spending money on things you don't really want or need, and unintentionally spending your money on things you don't want and need, shows that you're really not financially responsible, and shows the universe that you don't respect your money at all. And I never thought of this like this until I learned about manifestation and money mindset. And I got to thinking like, holy cow, I treat my money like crap. I treat my money as if it's a redheaded stepchild. That I don't want to look at my bank account. I don't want to, do all these things. And I just spend it without even considering what I truly need. I remember coming home from the grocery store one time and I was like, oh yeah, I bought these things. They were on sale. And then no one in the house ate them. And I got to thinking at the end of the week, like, that was a waste of money. And of course, at the time, like, that was the mindset, like, it's just a waste of money. But it's really like what I learned from that was super important. So I could say it was a waste of money, but in all reality, like, the lesson that I learned from, like, oh my gosh, like, I don't need to spend money on things that are on sale always just because they're on sale. And the lessons I've learned through, like, I don't need to buy that anymore because no one's eating it. And just really being grateful for that and being like, okay, let's do something different, because that money can be invested somewhere else. So you want to be spending your money on things you want, because that shows the universe that you respect your money. It shows the universe that you care about it. It shows money that you care about it. And the more you care about money as if it's a relationship in your life, and I know that sounds so silly, but the more you treat money as if it's your best friend and you love it wholeheartedly, the more it's going to show up for you. When you respect money, money will respect you, and it will come to you tenfold, which is why I suggest starting with tracking system and even budgeting if necessary, just to make sure that your money is going in the right place. So let's go ahead and start with the practical tips, and then I'll get into the spiritual tips after. Okay, so the first tip I want to share with you is tracking and budgeting helps you have control over where your money goes. This is really being intentional with your money, and it creates the intention behind the decision. A budget lets your money know exactly where to go. And instead of wondering where it went, and like, oh crap, where did all my money go? It helps prevent overspending and that financial stress that comes when you're like, crap, like we don't have enough money for groceries. I remember one week, like 10, 15 years ago, I don't remember when, but I just remember like thinking to myself, oh God, like I just bought these groceries and we don't have enough money to cover it, and like just feeling my heart sink. And then after like thinking about all the things that I could have taken out of my basket, like I never want to feel that way ever again. Like that is the last feeling that I want to feel. Like I never want to feel like I don't have enough. I want to be able to put the groceries in my basket and get home and feel content. I never want to stress about, like for example, this weekend, my husband's like, we need an extra switch charger for when we're out west, so that if Bud wants to play Minecraft out west for a little bit, come inside, take a break when it starts to get really hot and not just be like in the sun all day. Anyways, he wanted that charger so that we can charge it out west and not have to like carry it to and from. Like nowadays, like I don't think in my brain, like not even a thought goes by like, oh, we can't afford that. I remember having that feeling for so long, like, oh, well, like I don't think we have enough money this week, so maybe we can't. Like I never feel that way anymore. Like he could come to me like a couple weekends ago, like my husband came to me and he's like, I want to buy some chairs, but I want to buy the metal ones so they can just stay outside by our camp trailer all summer long and we don't have to move them or anything. And he's like, but they've gone up in price. They're like $400 each. And I'm like, okay, fine, go ahead. Like we've got this. I love that feeling, but that would have never came without doing what we did, because we budgeted and we tracked and we were so amazingly careful for so long that we were able to sell Lawrence's house. So Lawrence, my husband, he owned a home before I came along, which was so nice. Like I'm so grateful for him having that. So he owned that house. And when we sold that money that we made from that house, plus the money that we had been saving, we paying off credit cards, paying off debt, loans, all of the things, like we were able to really start creating some money and be able to buy the home that we wanted, because we had put so much equity. I did start putting equity into the house, but he started putting so much equity into that house for so long. And then me coming along and being able to help him and support him and in all those ways. And especially as I started my full-time career, like there was so much that we had put into that, and having that money from that house and like saving and just really being so intentional with our money. Like we bought our new house. We bought the 2-acre lot that we freaking love to pieces. I love having 2 acres. In fact, nowadays I'm thinking like I need 10 acres. Anyways, which is not out of reach. Like one day that's going to happen. Like I know it's going to happen for us. Anyway, so we bought this house, and when we moved in, we were able to buy all new furniture and get what we wanted. We were able to buy the patio set that we wanted because we were so freaking intentional with what we wanted. So I hope that it expresses how important being intentional with your money is, because without the intentionality and just like throwing your money out without it feels stressful, and really it's like the tracking and the budget at first, it's not fun and it takes a lot of discipline, but it really is like this GPS system. And you're not just like driving blind anymore. You have this system in place, your budget or your tracking system, however you want to manage that. You can call it a budget or you can call it a plan. And it tells you where your money goes, and you avoid these wrong turns, the overspending, and it gets you to your goals faster with less stress. Instead of turning down the wrong pathway, you're staying on track because the GPS is there telling you, hey, this is what we're doing. And you know what? Like this week, we're going to go with this instead of this. And because of that, the long-term goal becomes so much easier to take on. So that's my first practical tip for you, is just tracking and budgeting helps you have control of where your money goes. Okay. The second reason is that it helps you avoid debt. When you plan ahead for your expenses, like car repairs, birthdays, vacations, Christmas, for God's sakes, Christmas. It comes around every year, people. Christmas comes around every year. I'm speaking to myself when I say people. For so long, we did not budget for Christmas. And every year, Christmas would come around and then we'd have like another 1,000, or 1,500 added to credit card debt. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I just paid this off. Now I have to do it again. It comes around. Like these expenses happen. Right? So why are we not planning? When you plan for them, it feels so much less stressful. And when you're not as stressed, you can focus on the important things in life, like earning more money. And you don't have to rely on credit cards and loans to help you pay for those things. Your car registration comes due. Guess what? I have a whole set of money set aside for my vehicles. So I just go and pay that car registration, no guilt whatsoever. I just like swipe that credit card, paid off, done. Don't even care. It happens. I'm so grateful that I have a vehicle that takes me to and from my job, my, going to and from camping, traveling. I'm so freaking grateful for that. And if having it registered and paying for that registered means that I get to use my car, sweet, done, paid for. It also really truly helps you create stability by creating good habits. So this is the third practical tip, because even if you make more money, if you have bad habits, your net worth really doesn't grow. I want you to ask yourself, like, who's more wealthy? The millionaire that spends all of their money each year on a person who earns... Let me go back. Who is more wealthy? The millionaire that spends all their money each year, or the person who earns $50,000 a year and invests in their future? Of course, the person who is investing is the person who is truly more wealthy, because they're creating that stability long term. And that's important, because when you have a plan for your future, you can relax and enjoy your life. And when you're enjoying life, again, your mind is going to help you see more opportunities to create more money. So it's important to have those good habits, because that truly creates that long-term stability that you're looking for. You don't want to just be the overnight millionaire who spends every dollar. And I also don't want you to think that you can't spend any money at all. Again, going back to, money is meant to flow. It's just important to understand that investing in your future is key to living a happy life, because you don't have to worry about it. And I won't even get into the conversation about relying on Social Security. I won't even get into that conversation. Please, I ask you, even if you trust in the government to make sure that you have your Social Security, please have another investment to help support you. Plus, let's be honest, that's not enough. I don't know, maybe I guess if you have less needs, then maybe it is. But let's not rely on it. Let's make sure that we have a plan that we feel in control of, that we can just steadily like ease through life knowing that everything's going to work out. Okay, so the next practical tip is it really just like tracking your money and budgeting and having a plan in place really just improves your communication with your spouse, especially with a couple, right? Like it helps you show your significant other what's important to you as well as what's important to them so you can get on the same page, and it helps you determine what matters for your future and long-term goals. Because you could be saving your money for something, but like your spouse or your significant other is not saving their money for that same thing. Like when you start talking money, like let's not make this conversation hard. Let's freaking start talking about money. Like it doesn't need to be the non-talked about conversation. Let's talk about it, right? Money is our friend and we want to talk about it openly. You want to be on the same page. Because maybe you need to be setting aside enough money for the boat that your husband wants, as well as your business investment, right? Like you need to be on the same page. Because it doesn't seem like a happy marriage if you're spending all your money on your business investments, or vice versa, your husband's spending money on toys and things that doesn't allow you to also invest in this long-term goal that you're working on, right? Like talking about money helps you get on the same page. So, okay, the next one. It really helps you reach your goals faster. When you're spending less money on the things that you don't want or need, you're truly able to place the excess where it belongs. So we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but I want to go more in depth. If you have plans for vacations, to buy a home, to do other things, and you're not aware that maybe there's little tiny areas in your life where you're spending money that you don't really need, that, while very minimal, it feels minimal, it adds up over time. Especially if you think of it in terms of investing in the time value of money. It's important. It's important to have that mindset. To have the goals in place and have a plan for them. And when you're not overspending and you're knowing where your money goes, you can plan for those big things that you want. It also really truly helps reduce anxiety just around money. Like when you're budgeting, instead of constantly worrying about where your money is going, you feel like you have this control and you know where it's going. You're less stressed and you have this capacity to take more on and see the opportunities that are coming your way. All right, that kind of wraps up the practicality. I know that when I go into the spiritual perspective and kind of give you those tips there, these are going to be overlapping, and it's going to give you a little bit more of that sense of meaning. And if you're into the manifestation and spirituality, it just kind of adds that touch of magic. So let's dig in here. Okay, then the first one is just intentionality. Every dollar has a job. This kind of goes back to the idea that having a plan in place creates this GPS system that allows your money to flow exactly where it's meant to be. And when every dollar has a purpose, you're basically telling the universe, hi, hello universe, I'm this amazing good steward of money and my wealth, and showing it that it aligns with the energy of abundance. And money flows where it's respected and appreciated. And I really want you to start having the mindset of a wealthy person. Rich people don't throw their money around recklessly. They know exactly what they value and they spend according to that. This took me a long time to fully grasp, but I really want you to think about it. Like, true wealth is not generated by just throwing your money around. And maybe you don't see that because you see wealthy people on TV and like having these things, like things that you just don't need, like more of the like wants and just the, what's the right word? The luxuries of life. And yes, they have the money to do that. They spend money in those areas, but they don't go to the store and buy a bag of chips that they don't like. I mean, like, I absolutely do not like those one little red chips that have like not Cheetos. I can't remember what they're called. Anyways, they're like in a pointy, they look like a triangle. I can't think of them. Anyways, like, why would I go buy those? I hate them. People who are wealthy are consistently prioritizing what they spend on and not spending it on things they don't want. If they are spending it on things they don't want, then they're not creating true wealth because they're not saving and investing their money for long-term purposes. Tracking and budgeting helps you step into that mindset. Intentional, strategic, and aligned with your long-term goals rather than I feel like I've talked so much already. It's like past 30 minutes and my words aren't coming out. Okay. Back on track. Intentional, strategic, and aligned with your long-term goals rather than just short-term desires. Okay, I want you to get into that mindset. What would I do if I had more money? And I promise you this, you're not just spending your money on things you don't want. So yes, maybe while it might be not to the level of what you want it to be, you at least are in the mindset of, these are my priorities, and this is what I'm going to spend my money on. Okay? All right, the next one I really want to talk about is the energetic boundaries with money. Tracking your finances is truly a form of self-respect. It helps you say no to what's out of alignment, and that frees up space and cash for what is in alignment. That act alone sends a strong signal to the universe, hey, I'm ready to receive more. I have the energetic capacity to hold more money. I have the brain space to manage more money. Ooh, I love that. I have the power and brain space to manage and hold more money. Send it my way, universe. I am ready. Another important area is just understanding that tracking is awareness. And you know how important it is to consciously be aware of what's going on to make conscious, intentional decisions. So tracking is awareness, and awareness creates abundance. Because when you are aware of what is not working and what is working, you can start to shift into what is working, which allows you the space to hold more, which allows more to come to you. When you track your money, you're becoming aware of your patterns, both helpful and harmful. And that awareness creates more opportunities for you to shift from scarcity into abundance. And you can shift what you are not aware of. And I want you to see this from the perspective of Well, let's look at it like this. It's like turning your lights off in a messy room, and you're in the dark room, and you might trip, knock some things over, or avoid the room altogether. But once the light is on, you can see clearly. You can clean up the crap that is on the floor, reorganize it, and create space for something new. You can't fix what you can't see. Tracking is awareness, and awareness is abundance. You can't grow if you're just ignoring things, right? Turn off the lights, trying to walk through the mess. Not going to work. The next thing is gratitude in action. Tracking helps you notice and celebrates what you have done. I remember the very first time we started budgeting, and I was like, babe, we have $50 left over. And he was like, really? And I was like, yeah, what should we do with it? And we talked about it, and we're like, well, let's set 25 aside, and we're going to start like this like mini vacation fund, right? So like we could go out to dinner with this, or we could go, I think we called it our entertainment fund. I have to go back and look. We called it like mini vacation entertainment. And we put $25 in that. And then we put the other 25 into our savings. And a lot of times our savings will grow, and then as it grows, he will put it into our investing account. And I just remember that little mini vacation entertainment fund growing. And I remember getting to the point where I was like, babe, like, let's go out to dinner this week. Like, we have money to do it. Like, let's go get some Mexican food, or, there's this little place in town that we love to go to. And I just remember thinking, like, I was so grateful and so excited, and we celebrated that. Like, we were able to every week slowly save up enough money here and there and have excess to put some into savings and some into an account where we could then later go on a date. And looking back on that, I remember being in that, and life felt hard in those moments. And I was so grateful for that. And at the same time, like, I would love to just tell my past self, like, please enjoy this more. Please enjoy it more by knowing and trusting that this silly little $50 that you think it is only going to grow. And stop just seeing it as silly $50. Like, be so grateful and proud and see the big vision and the success that you're creating in your life simply by creating massive habits that are shifting so much for you in your life. And it really truly creates this room for you to receive that gratitude that I had, and my ability to celebrate myself just allowed me to receive more. The only thing I would tell myself now is just enjoy it. I spent a lot of time being stressed out about that. So if you're in that phase, just remember, like, enjoy it. Trust that $50 left over at the end of the week, even though it seems so minimal, it is absolutely contributing to a big grand scheme that is going to support you. 100%. All right, I want to talk about manifestation through clarity. The universe responds to clarity. The universe responds to clear and confident decisions. A budget shows that you know exactly what you want, need, and value. It shows that you know how to make decisions. It shows that you're the kind of person that can handle money and knows exactly what she wants from it. That you're the kind of person that's not manifesting money through chaos. You're manifesting from confidence, because that is how you manifest. Building your confidence. That is literally the secret. I have the secret to the universe. And it is simply growing your confidence. Trusting in yourself. And the way that you build your confidence is having clarity and knowing exactly what you want. rewiring your mindset, and learning how to manage your freaking emotions. And I want to explain clarity so that it's extremely tangible. Like, I need you to think of this and understand it, because this last one that I'm talking about, this clarity piece, it is a game changer. Manifestation through clarity. It's like placing an order at a restaurant and literally telling the waiter, I don't know what I want. Just bring me something. And maybe you get what you want, or maybe worse. Maybe you don't get shit. Maybe you get nothing at all. But when you know exactly what you want and say it with confidence, your order gets placed, prepared, and delivered. Manifestation works the same way. Clarity is how you place your order with the universe. Hey universe, it's me, it's Mary. I am a damn good steward of money, and I am prioritizing my money. Here are the things that matter to me, and I'm only going to spend my money on these things. And if it's not on my priority list, I'm not going to be irresponsible. I'm going to make clear decisions, and I'm going to choose right now that money is important to me. And in that process, I manifest more because I see the opportunities in front of me and I make quick decisions on them. Okay. I hope that makes sense. That's all I have for you today. If you're ready to learn how to actually manifest more money and create long-term financial stability, book a free consult call and I'll show you how my program helps you build wealth step by step without feeling lost or overwhelmed. Because trying to create stability when you feel like life is chaotic is like trying to build a house during an earthquake. It doesn't matter how beautiful the blueprint is. If the ground underneath it is not steady, nothing's holding. Nothing's gonna be created through that. And the first step in what you learn in my program is learning how to stabilize the ground first. So that the abundance you are calling is actually going to land exactly where you intend it to be. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. If this episode helped you in any way, shape, or form, please absolutely share it with a friend. Take a print screen of it, post it on Instagram, and tag me. I would love to hear what you thought of this episode. So leave a review. And if you're on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, you got to click on the podcast. So click on the thing that says Mindset with Mary. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and then click the rating and review. Let me know what you thought. Let me know how it helped you. Let me know how it's inspired you and what you want to hear more from these episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you with my whole heart and soul. Have a blessed day. Mwah.